centers. With empty pews, churches use internet servers to deliver their services.
CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo. Reporting tonight, John Ehrlichman.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a blunt warning from Canada's top health official. The risk of getting COVID-19 is no longer low. Dr. Theresa Tam says the pandemic is now a serious public health threat and everyone is at risk. The Prime Minister is considering all options to slow the spread, including closing our borders. As the number of cases in Canada rises to 341. Across Europe, life is coming to a standstill as more cities and countries lock down. And while everyone is urged to practice social distancing, airports have become the most crowded places of all. CTV's Vanessa Lee starts us off with a startling lack of screening where it may be needed the most.
At Canada's biggest airport, hundreds of people stood shoulder to shoulder for up to 2 hours to clear customs.
So everyone was right beside each other, tucked into small spaces, breathing the same air. And absolutely no safeguards put in place, no hand sanitizers, no masks.
Canadians returning home from abroad say they were expecting some kind of screening for COVID-19.
I thought, oh wow, third degree? No such thing.
When asked why there is no enhanced screening or extra spacing to allow for social distancing, the Prime Minister, who is in self-isolation at home, says new measures are in the process of being implemented.
A lot of people who came back from, say, the Caribbean or somewhere else on vacation have said, well, I wasn't really asked much. Well, they were not coming from a place of concern, and therefore there were different protocols.
But even those returning from high-risk countries say they're not being screened. Nadia Stalid was just in Europe's hot zone.
When you left Italy, they had to check your temperature, just a little thing that scanned you.
When she landed in Toronto and told border service agents she was back from Milan, nothing.
I feel like they didn't really do enough to screen us. I feel like they should have at least checked our temperature.
Now that Ottawa has urged Canadians to get home while they still can, there is a mad scramble to book flights. Janet Prime and her husband flew back to Calgary from the UK. They never made it to Portugal to visit their son.
When Trump shut down the U.S. borders, we realized that we couldn't risk going over to Europe, and that to stay in the UK was our best option to get home.
Pam and Andy McBride are still searching for options. The Ontario couple is stranded on a cruise ship off the coast of Fiji after the ship was rejected from several ports, even though no one on board is sick.
We just really want to know that we're going to get somewhere. Even if we got somewhere and we were quarantined, that's fine, but we need to see land.
When they finally do get home, they, like all returning travelers, will have to self-isolate for 14 days. John.
All right, thanks, Vanessa. CTV's Vanessa Lee. An emergency cabinet meeting ended this evening with the Economic Development Minister hinting at